So welcome to the third module entitled Protocols and Models. In this module, we are to tackle rules in computer network. We'll set some analogy as well. Protocols, protocol suite, um, standards. We'll cover difference between standard to a protocol and enumerate some of the standard organizations. Reference model, a very important topic. We'll have an overview of the OSI and TCP/IP model, a discussion about data encapsulation. So, um, rules, okay? Just like when two person communicate, as we observe, there are rules to be followed, right? Say example, you say hi, you should know who the name you are talking to, right? And then once you're through with the conversation, you say goodbye or take care. Same thing in computer networks. There are rules to be followed when sending a message or a data, say from one PC to another PC. Okay. Um, Okay, so that's the title of this part of the module. Okay, so um, um, before we proceed to the exact rules, take note that in a communication there are three elements. So you have the source, you have the destination, and of course there should be a media, a channel that connects the source sender to the destination, the receiver. Okay. I have an analogy here again. Say, when two persons talk to each other, of course, there should be a message, and then there should be a destination. Okay. One good analogy also, just like in parts of our body, there is a part of our body that acts as a transmitter, the one that relays the message, and that is our mouth, right? And on the other end, on the other side, like the other party, there's also a part in the body that receives the information, and that is and that is the ear of this guy, right? So there's the mouth, the transmitter, the ear, the receiver, and then there's the medium. Like in the case of these two persons talking, the air. So in computer network, same thing. There is a transmitter circuit on the side in the side of the sender. Of course, there's a message to be sent going to the receiver. In the destination, there is a receiver circuit. Okay, and of course, you have the medium, the cable that is used to connect the source to the destination. Okay, and then aside from these basic components, and again, talking to each other, two persons, there are protocols being observed, same as in computer network. There are rules that are being followed, and you need to be familiar with these rules or protocols. Uh, Example of rules is you need, like in computer network, it is very important to identify the sender and the receiver. This is why we have addressing, like IP address. We mentioned that in module 2, right? There are also common languages and grammar. You are done with web, right? Like browsers has a language, right? What's the language? Very good, that's correct. HTML. I heard you answer that. Okay? Oh, so HTML, hypertext markup language, that's the language of the browsers. So there are application software that has languages. Database is SQL. Same as with us humans, right? We have languages and grammar. There are persons that talks too fast. There are persons that talk too slow, right? Same thing in computer network. There's also speed and timing of delivery in the message. And then there's this confirmation or acknowledgement. Because just like with us, no, sometimes when we relay message, there are instances, there are errors encountered, right? And we usually say, uh, if we feel that the message has errors or mistakes or it is not clear, we usually ask the sender to repeat it, right? Same thing in computer network, uh, where there is a mechanism that the receiver can detect these errors, and once an error is detected, what will happen is a correction mechanism will be applied, and that is to resend. We will discuss that further in the transport layer. Some of the network protocol requirements has something to do with encoding, formatting, size, timing, delivery options. Let's deal with this one by one. So like with encoding, usually most part of this occurs in the cable, LAN card to cable. Okay. What we mean by encoding is this is the process of converting the information into acceptable form of transmission. Take note that our message is transmitted to our wire, to our cable. Okay. And the nature of the signal in our cable is different to our computer. So there is a component that encodes this or converts this. Usually it occurs on the LAN card. Okay, the specific component in our computer where our cable is connected is the LAN card. So there is a component there that encodes the uh, the message so that is needed in a way for this message or data to be transmitted to our cable. On the other end, on the receiver side, it will be decoded. The signal from the cable will be revert back to the acceptable information to the information acceptable by our computer. So it can be read.